All right, another episode session. I say of not obsession, but session of Thrones Talk here for season 8, episode 2. Of course, with our man D-Wil, Darrel Wilson, aka Splits Games, aka D-Wil. What's up, man?
Yay! I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Watching NBA. NBA's like the Game of Thrones itself. Rockets just won. It's interesting. Hey, real quick before we start the Thrones Talk.
Go ahead.
Giannis or Harden?
Giannis, buddy. Next question.
Giannis? Oh man, it's Harden. I got Harden.
It's not by a wide margin. No, it's not by a wide margin. I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, Giannis and this like he's just the guy and that's it." Harden certainly, made a case to be MVP, but I think there's something to be said about winning 60+ games this year. And a pretty good East this year for that matter. Milwaukee improved tremendously as a team this year.
Just be honest, man. It's Harden fatigue. People are tired of Harden and the things that he does, so we overlook it. We getting Harden.
No,
fatigue,
not in my
just
case.
Like we had LeBron
not in my case.
And Jordan fatigue. Not in your case. You don't think so? I mean, I love Giannis, man.
No, because
36 points a game. 36 points a game is ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
It's just absolutely ridiculous in the West at that.
Giannis
every night.
Giannis is a two-way player.
Every single night.
Giannis is
every single night you're going against a killer. In the Western Conference, you're going against the killer every single night.
The Lakers, right? I know. Oops.
God, jokes. All right, man, let's go.
No, but I mean, you got a point there. I mean, because I've never liked James Harden at all, and yet I thought he was MVP last year. I thought he was MVP the year before that as well too. But this is me.
He should have won. Yeah, he should have won 3 MVPs already.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, another good episode. I actually tweeted out the other day, Monday morning, and I actually did a Periscope on this also too Monday morning as well, saying that this was yet another filler-ish episode. Now, to be clear, it wasn't an insult, because people took the insult first. I'm like, filler is one thing, but filler on Game of Thrones doesn't feel like filler. There's still things going on. It's just that this is another one of those set the table episodes, no action, just kind of preparing for, in my eyes, preparing for deaths to happen. I think we're seeing the last, kind of like the Last Supper kind of situation now, because I think after this, it's going to be up in the air in terms of who will survive beyond episode 3.
I don't disagree, but you know me, man. One of my most favorite things about this series is the politics and the discussion that goes on a lot between the characters.
Absolutely.
They say a lot of things that draw you back to previous episodes. That, oh yeah, I remember that, and like they do a whole bunch of foreshadowing. And in this case, there was a bunch of foreshadowing that took place. We'll talk about some of it as we go along. That I was like, wow, like did he really say that? Oh, is this going to happen? It keeps you on your toes. A lot of people overlook like the little silly things that they say, and like some of the small lines happen to be a huge foreshadow that gets to that they pay off later on. Like a couple of favorite people about to die next episode. Some people that we think are going to die aren't going to die. It's interesting, man. I love it. It was actually, and I said this to my wife when we were watching. Hey, this is my favorite episode so far the series. One, because the last few seasons lacked the jokes and the comedy from, some of the seasons before. Like you got to laugh a lot. This last episode, we laughed a lot. Like they told a lot of jokes. There were a lot of funny scenes, and they kept it really light because, as you mentioned, like the next episode is going to be dark and nothing but bloodshed.
So we think, because as the episode ended, we saw the dead within yards of Winterfell. So, if we are to believe that the war pretty much starts next episode, then here we go. By the way, I'm hoping Theon the Pussy is actually the first one to die. I don't give a crap about it says about him and redeem. He can redeem all he wants. I hope he dies. Him and his penisless ass. So anyway, all right. So we open the show with Jaime Lannister standing trial in front of Daenerys, Sansa, Jon Snow, and Bran. Daenerys says she doesn't see an army. She sees a man with one hand. Of course, Daenerys is coming face to face with the man who killed her father, the Mad King. So obviously she's a little bit defensive there. Tyrion attempts to interject with a defense of Jaime, but is shot down by Daenerys. Brandon, of course, says the things we do for love. Doesn't say anything about why he said that quote, but of course, it's implying that, back to episode 1 of the entire series, him seeing Cersei and Jaime having sex. Of course, Brianna Tarth comes up and defends Jaime for protecting her way back season 2, I believe, when that happened. And ultimately, Sansa.
More like season 4.
Huh?
Sansa. Like season 4. That was around season 4.
That was season 4? Was that much into it?
Yeah, that was season 4. Yeah, that was about season 4.
Wow, I thought it was earlier than that. Ultimately, Sansa trusts Brienne's opinion because basically Brienne says that if it wasn't for Jaime, she would have been raped and killed without him. And Daenerys tells Jon Snow. Jon Snow says we need every man we can get. So Jaime lives. There you go. Again, Jaime Lannister, the most redeemed character in the entire series thus far, and he's still surviving. You gotta give him credit.
Well, the only reason he survived is because Bran didn't spill the beans on him.
Yes.
Like, let's keep it real. That's the only reason he survived, and he mentioned it when him and Bran had the face-to-face talk. Bran was like, "Hey, man, like, if I would have ratted on you, like, you'd be dead." And it was like, I kind of need you to help me out. So, who knows if you're going to live during the battle? And pretty much that's what he alluded to. Said, how do you know there's going to be afterwards? Mm-hmm. Like, so that's one of the lines I'm talking about. I was like, okay, yeah, he's dead. Like, how he's going to be afterwards? He's going to do enough to help in the battle, or maybe he's not going to be dead. But who knows? Who knows which direction we're going to take it? But he pretty much said, I didn't tell on you because I need your help. That's where it goes. That scene, though, when Jaime was on trial, was pretty much to do about nothing, mm-hmm. except to show us how much of a conflict is going on with everybody versus Daenerys. Daenerys is starting to get challenged left and right up north right now. And if you look at the episode, every single chance that Jon Snow was with Daenerys, Jon Snow avoided looking at her. Well, matter of fact, shout out to my boy Jabari. I promised I wasn't going to call him Jon Snow anymore. From now on, his name is Aegon. From here on out. So, but Aegon.
Them thrones, man. Them thrones.
Aegon avoided looking at her the entire episode. Like, every chance you get, your Grace, with his head down and just walked away, kept mm-hmm. on walking away. I'm like, damn, like, bro, he really shook, isn't he? He really shook, like, he really just don't know how to tell her.
By the way, if you're surprised that Jaime survived, then you don't know Jaime Lannister. I mean, Jaime has survived through everything in this show so far. It would have been a shock to see him die this early in the season anyway. I mean, will he die in this show later on? Probably, because I
have to remember. Yeah, I have to remember he has unfinished business. He has to go back home and kill his sister. So I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
he has to go back home and kill his sister. So they're gonna let him die. He has what they call plot armor. So if he's wearing plot armor, he's not gonna die.
Right. Anyway,
who you think's gonna die
first?
Nate, the one who's guaranteed to die. Which character is guaranteed to die?
Theon the Pussy.
Theon the Pussy's guaranteed to die?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if he doesn't die, there's no hope for me at all.
I think Grey Worm's gonna die too.
Unfortunately,
Grey Worm's gonna die.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Jorah Mormont?
It's possible. It's very possible.
He got the fresh sword for nothing, huh?
Yeah. I mean, definitely my mind on the Pussy first, and then either I think the Mountain dies also too.
The Hound, man, the Hound.
He won't die. He'll be alive for a long time.
The Hound. You gotta, one of these days, you gotta get that right, Ernest.
What?
The Hound.
The Hound.
The Hound. That's his name. He's the Hound.
Right, but the other guy, the Daenerys' bodyguard.
Daenerys' bodyguard. You mean Cersei's bodyguard?
I mean Cersei's bodyguard. Sorry, God, good lord, so much fucking characters fucking show. Cersei's bodyguard. Yes.
I'll be surprised if I even see Cersei or anybody in King's Landing in this episode.
Me too.
I'll be really surprised.
Me too. I actually agree with you there. Anyway, so Meanwhile, Daenerys is still mad at Tyrion over Cersei playing him. She says, "Are you a traitor or a fool?" He actually replies, "I'm a fool." And then she goes, "Not for the first time." Later, Jorah will appear and lobby for Tyrion to remain in Daenerys' hand, and still later, she will decide to keep him as his primary advisor. Again, Jorah is now vouching for Tyrion, despite Cersei's, issues with Tyrion over basically softening up the Cersei, if you will.
He's a wise man.
Yeah,
Jorah's wise.
Mm-hmm.
They remember him and Tyrion spent a lot of time together.
That boat ride
A
was
lot
awesome.
of time together.
Remember that boat ride?
On that boat ride.
Yeah.
On that boat ride where the Stones man jumped out of nowhere. So yeah, he spent a lot of time with Tyrion, so he knows that Tyrion is a smart guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he knows that Tyrion is pretty much one of the only people that Daenerys can trust. So it's like, you really have to keep this guy. I've had my issues in the past, so I'm not sure if you really want to keep me around. I might die soon. So you don't want to burn your bridges. Go ahead and keep Tyrion. And I thought that was pretty decent and honorable of Jorah to do. There's been a whole bunch of times in this series where he could have just went foul, but he didn't. Just by not killing Daenerys, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
when he had opportunity to. So yeah, I like Jorah as a character. It's gonna be sad to see him go.
Yeah.
They say just like I don't know how many times, just to see him die at the end.
Right. Yeah. He's one of my favorite characters actually on the show as well too. And I definitely put him top 5. Anything. Meanwhile, outside by the Tree of Life, creepy ass Bran, of course. I call him creepy ass Bran because he's kind of creepy. He's a bit of a creeper. I have to be honest with you. He always shows up somewhere where you just don't expect him. Like Bran's right there. What the fuck? Bran sits by himself as Jaime Lannister approaches him. I'm surprised that. I'm not surprised. I guess that he didn't say anything publicly about Jaime. I feel like, because I'm still conflicted about Bran whether or not he's actually the Night King. You think he's not? I say there's still a possibility he could be Night King. But Bran also says, just like Jon Snow says, we need bodies. So he understands that whether even though he pushed him over the the wall, it's been so long, and he's not the person anymore anyway. He's something else now. He's three-eyed raven, all that. But Bran at least recognizes that the bigger picture now. That right, he needs everybody he can get, and including Jaime.
And he recognizes that incident changed the whole scheme of life.
Absolutely.
If he hadn't done that, he wouldn't be where he is right now.
Right.
So I guess for that alone, he's giving him a pass. Like that actually kind of helped Bran, and it helped the quote unquote realm to find a new three-eye raven because of that. So had that not happened, who knows what direction this show would be in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
How come nobody on this show, besides Tyrion, asked the best questions? Like nobody has really asked him, "Hey, give me an example of all the stuff that you're going through. Like, what do you mean all this? Like, how do you know this is going to happen?" Like, they never show anybody asking him that, and I'm glad Tyrion finally, when the room cleared out, said, "Hey, I like to hear about your journey. I like to hear about it. We go all night. Like, so tell me about it."
I feel like that part, and it's funny. I'm glad you mentioned that. I feel like that part of the episode is actually one of the most underrated parts of the episode because they don't go into detail. They literally go to another scene and that's it. I mean, they go back to that. When they go back to Tyrion and Bran, there's more people there. There's Brienne and everybody else there. I feel like there's something to that scene that we don't know about yet that may come to pass later on.
Yes. That's what they do. They don't show that. But if you are let's fast forward for a second because I know there's other things that you want to talk about. Let's go back. Let's go to that room where they're all sitting around. So Tyrion brought his chair and he already spoke to Bran, right? He already had that long old conversation with Bran. Like who knows what Bran told him? And later on, what does Tyrion say to the rest of the group? He tells them, "I think we might win." And he starts laughing. Like he can't really say anything. Like, "I think we might win." Like, why would he say that? And Bran had to tell him something.
Right.
Bran had to give him some type of vision. He's like, "Oh yeah, we won."
Absolutely.
That's why they're up there getting drunk. They're up there getting wasted and toasted. Like, if you know all the dead people are coming, you'd be scared shitless. Like, you don't got no time to drink. But Tyrion's like, hey, everybody, like, let's drink. Like, he knows something's going to go
the
down.
cocky midget knows something, definitely. The cocky midget. Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. So Jamie continues his awkward reunion with Tyrion. Obviously, they, talk about, whether or not she's pregnant or not, which we find out that no one knows, right? Still.
No one knows, really.
She's pregnant.
Not really. No confirmation.
Jamie also beats up with Lady Brienne, who, and by the way, probably the most touching part of the entire, we'll get to that in a second, the Brienne, Jamie, situation, like, seeing the context and seeing these two again together for the first time in a number of seasons, and now Brienne being the strong leader, and Jamie, asking to fight under her, of course. I mean, it's definitely asking her to be under her command. I mean, it's kind of touching, to be honest with you.
Humbling, and like you said, it goes back to Jamie being a redeemable character. Like, he's humble, and he knows his place. He knows where he is. So he just can't go to the north with all this bravado that he's used to. Like, he knows that he's just like a skeleton of himself. Like, he's not the same person. So he knows what his limitations are. So he has to humble himself. He only has one hand, for Christ's sake. Like, what could he do except for, make up for lost time? Hey, thank you for saving my life. Let's do this together. You know what I mean? I feel like his and Brienne's relationship is one of the most intimate on the show. Like, a true intimate relationship between the two of them. Like, even more intimacy than Sansa and Pussy Theon. Like, these two characters are sort of like made to be. It's sort of like a romance that they're really not displaying on the surface, but we all have to, like, read between the lines, like, how much Brienne loves Jamie. Like, she always wanted to be a knight, and she looks up to him, and there he is, humbling himself to her. So that was a real touching moment,
it really was. And I think if there's any doubt about, I think if there's any doubt about Jamie at that point, if you're the watcher and you have any doubt, that part pretty much should actually clear any doubt about Jamie's position at this point.
Right.
I think
right.
That's a pretty humbling situation there. Daenerys and Sansa meets alone, actually. Sansa tells Daenerys that Jon Snow loves her, and that troubles her because, quote, men do stupid things for women. They're easily manipulated. Daenerys, however, flips the script on Sansa and says, quote, tell me who manipulated who. I'm here because I love your brother and I trust him, she says. Daenerys goes on to say that Jon is the second man she's trusted. Sansa asks who's the first. Someone taller, Daenerys responds. Was it taller, the Khaleesi? No, the Khal Drogo, right?
Drogo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So,
well, you know what? My takeaway from that line right there, from that meeting, is this: that almost tells me, or the writers are trying to change the way that we feel about Daenerys. Like, Daenerys has been one of the most lovable characters. Like, she's queen, she's powerful, this and that. Then you see, just as a continuation, what happened at the end of this episode to right there. Like, she's sort of selfish. Like, all you care about is the Iron Throne. So when Sansa asks you, what about the North? You just give her a dead ass look. Then you pull your hand away, like, oh, like, you don't want to relinquish one of the areas? Like, these people are here fighting for you. You're in love with the brother, like, you're in love with the North of the North, with the Warden of the North, and you don't want to give up the North? If you in the Seven Kingdoms, you don't want to give up the North? Is that what you're saying? Like, she didn't say it. That's pretty much what she was saying. I'm like, wait a second here. Like, what are you really about? Are you all about power, or are you about making things right? Which one is it? So, hey, that moment right there, I don't know who else thinks the way I think about it. It's like, she was a real bitch in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, why? How come you just couldn't say, like, what about the North? Yeah, sure, I'll still be ruler of the Seven Kingdoms, but you guys can do what you want to do. I mean, she could have easily said something like that, but instead she still wants to make everybody bow down to her. Wow.
By the way, while they're talking, they're interrupted by Dickless Theon saying, quote, that he wants to fight for Winterfell, and Sansa comes to rush to hug him. I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. You dickless punk. We die first.
Let's just skip this whole Theon talk. He's not gonna protect anybody. We know all about how Theon protects people.
Right.
He's a poser, man.
Yeah, we said last episode.
He's a poser.
Yeah.
What's your existence? Why are you there? Go somewhere, man. Just get away. Just go somewhere.
By the way, Tormund arrives finally. Dude, Tormund is the best. By far the best
Mr.
Comedy Guy. Mr. Comedy Guy. Jon Snow asks Tormund after reunite, how long do we have? Tormund responds, before the sun comes up tomorrow. Then Tormund says, the big woman's still here? Talking about Brienne.
Giants Bane. Hey, that's a hell of a story that he told, though.
Yeah.
That is one hell of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Then, do you think they believe that? Do you think they believe that story? Everybody that was watching you tell the story, do you think they believe it? Come on, you're 10 years old. You're 10 years old and you killed a giant. That part in itself,
yeah,
is unbelievable. But who knows?
Tormund's funny, dude.
Don't really have any. Yeah, they don't have any reason to tell lies. They just live. So who knows, man? Tormund's a G.
Tormund's top 5 for me also. Maybe top 3.
Suckled me on her teeth. She suckled me on her teeth for 3 months.
And the fucking milk also? Jeez. Have you seen the memes come out since? All the memes that come out since the last couple of days? Oh my gosh. Hysterical.
Oh god.
Here's an important piece of the episode, probably the most important part of the night. In a war council meeting, we get the most interesting information tonight. Bran says, quote, the Night King will come for me. He wants to erase this world, and I am its memory. What did you when you saw that? What was your response to that? What was your thoughts on that? On that quote?
My thoughts on that was, like I said earlier, how come nobody is asking him more questions?
Yeah. Yeah, he actually.
How come nobody's asking him more questions? I mean, maybe they have, off scene, off camera. Maybe they have, but let us know that these people really care about what he's saying. So you're just going to take him for his word. I guess something has to happen that we don't know about, because it seems like everybody is just really just taking him for his word. When Arya asked him, "Oh, can Dragonfire kill them?" So while she asked him, she have to believe him. But come on, ask him more questions. What happened to you? How do you know all this information? What else do you see?
Right.
I mean, if you could see all this stuff, say what's going to happen and what you need to do, instead of just, I'm going to sit right here and he's going to come to me. Okay, orchestrate the flank, orchestrate everything. So if you could see it, if you know what's going to happen, tell everybody exactly what to do and save these people's lives. So that's one of the things that's pissing me off. If you could really see, if he knows what happened, how did they kill him before? How did they stop the war before? Thousands of years ago, when they say, he tried to kill all these other three-eyed ravens, how did they stop him?
Right.
You know what I mean? Let everybody know how they got stopped. Wouldn't that be the logical thing to do?
I agree.
If you see all the stuff in the past and you see that he got pushed back somehow, how did they do it? So, is that something in the plot line that he's already told people how to do, and we just don't know about it? Because if you told the people how to do that, why are you sending all these innocent people out to die?
Right.
Especially the Dothraki. Could you imagine if all the Dothraki turned and were fighting for the death? Oh, wow.
Like I said,
great.
Bran suggests we use as bait. Bran doesn't know if the Dragonfire work on the White Walkers, but of course I can't get rid of this guy. Theon volunteers to watch Bran with the Ironborn. Come on, really? You watch Bran, really?
Russell Westbrook said, "Next question." Next question, and we're not talking about this guy anymore.
You are not a bodyguard.
We're not talking about this poser anymore.
You're dying next episode, buddy.
Anymore.
Let me see. Next here we have Tyrion drags a chair beside Bran and says what's Bran's story. We just went over that a little while ago, and we think there's more to this conversation. And Tyrion is a smart guy. Yes, he had a foolish moment with Cersei. I believe that Tyrion wants to know more about Bran's story, and I think he may have learned some stuff here that may come into play going forward. We'll see what happens there. And by the way, Tyrion might also maybe find out he's a Targaryen. Who knows?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier in the episode, I think one of the coldest lines of this episode was mentioned by Tyrion when Tyrion was talking to Jaime.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Even the clever might out-clever themselves."
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Exactly.
Like, are these people? What does that mean exactly? So, I'm waiting to find out. I mean, I really can't wait for this next episode, man. I think everybody's waiting for this. Like, who is gonna die? You know, that's not the most important thing, but like that, they're gonna clean up a whole bunch of storylines with this one episode alone. And you know, Grey Worm and Miss Sunday and their whole "let's go back to Africa" moment. Like, why do they have to throw that in there? These people. Let's go back to a different land after we're done with these people.
Fuck, I love this show. This show's amazing, isn't it? God, I love it. Missandei and Grey Worm reveal that they want to spend the rest of their lives together on the beach. I don't blame them. Winterfell's fucking cold as hell. I don't blame them. Come to Florida. Shit.
Let's go live with my people. Oh, let's go live with my people.
Hopefully. They're adorable, by the way. They're an adorable couple, by the way. So, Jon Snow and Sam are on the wall with the last remaining member of the Night's Watch, Ed. Ed had the best quote here.
Hold on. Rewind for a second.
Go ahead. What's up?
Grey Worm doesn't have a dick either, homie. You forget about that?
No, he's unsullied, right? I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but he's a good dude, though. He's not a pussy, though. He's not a pussy. He's not hashtag Theon the pussy, okay? Okay? Don't compare Theon and Grey Worm. You know, they're not in the same ballpark. All right?
They're not the same caliber, man.
No, sorry, they're not. They are not. We were just saying John and Sam on the wall, and they meet up with a member of the Night's Watch, last remaining member, Ed. Ed had the best quote in the scene, saying, quote, as if we needed any more evidence the world's ending, now we have it. Sam's a slayer of White Walkers and lover of women. Oh, God. I think Sam realizes he's not going to be a fighter, even though he was the first to kill a White Walker, and eventually gets his family's sword, Valyrian steel no less, to Jorah. He says, a quote...
But hold on. You missed Sam's joke before that, though. You missed Sam's joke before that. The reason why Ed said that, because Sam basically told Ed, like, hey, you're the only person up here who's never had any pussy. Ed said, we're all fucked. And it's like, no, actually, you're not. You haven't been fucked. That's why he said, "Oh, Sam, a lover of women, slayer of White Walkers." Lots of cold, man.
Lots of backhanded insults in this episode, man. Lots of backhanded episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. This episode was so funny. Sam has changed, man, a lot.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Tyrion, Jaime, Podrick, Lady Brienne, Davos, and Tormund all drink in front of the fire. This is probably my favorite scene of the entire episode, honestly. Let me see here. All of them, as they acknowledge at some point in the show, try to kill the Starks, and now they all die. They all may die defending Winterfell. Tormund shows up with his horn full of liquor, says he killed a giant when he was 10, and has spent the next 3 months breastfeeding from the giant's wife because she thought he was her kid. Quote, maybe I will have that drink, unquote, says Davos. Still in front of the fire, Lady Brienne is asked why she isn't a knight. Quote, women can't be knights, says Lady Brienne. Tormund then says the best quote of the episode, quote, fuck tradition, unquote. Eventually, Jaime knights Lady Brienne, and she's pronounced Sir Brienne of Tarth, which, by the way, is the most touching scene in the entire episode. This scene is actually great because, like, number one, it's it's a mixture of humor, of course, Tormund being the flag bearer of that, and then of course Brienne getting knighted by Jaime again. It's the best scene of the entire episode. But again, it also gives you an idea that someone's dying, and someone in this pack could be dying. Then this roundabout here could be dying first.
Podrick's dead. The kid has a nice voice, but he's about to die too.
Well, he sang a sad song at the end of it.
Yeah. So I did a little research, digging up. Apparently, so you remember Podrick? Podrick is a person that all of the whores loved back in King's Landing. So apparently, the reason why so many girls liked him was because he could sing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always sing songs and get laid. Interesting fact. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he's about to die.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Yeah. Let's talk about some Arya.
But I agree, man. That was the most touching scene.
Absolutely,
that was really touching.
Absolutely. And yeah, you have the context of Tormund making the jokes he did in between the same scene. That's great. Let's talk about Arya.
Makes me think that she's gonna die. Makes me think Bran's gonna die too.
Oh God! Stop!
It makes me think she's gonna die.
Don't depress me, bro. Seriously, don't do that, please. I love.
I mean, because they make you love these people. Then the next episode they die. Like we all love Brienne now. Oh, she stood up for Jaime. Blah blah blah. She's a knight. She was so happy at the end of the episode. Like she's gonna die. Like she was on the front line. You saw the preview. She was on the front line. She's about to die. It's
I shouldn't be attached. I shouldn't be as attached to these characters as I am. I'm room for Night King. I'm done. Like the Warriors. All right, let's talk some Arya. Arya grew up in this episode. First off, Arya runs into the Hound drinking outside the wall. The Hound opens up, quote, "You never used to shut up, and now you're just sitting here like a mute." Arya responds, "When was the last time you fought for anyone but yourself?" The Hound says, "I fought for you, didn't I?" And then, of course, Beric Dondarrion arrives. It starts waxing eloquent about the Lord of the Lights. Until the Hound says he'll throw him off the ramparts and kill him if he doesn't shut up. Arya walks away and says, "You know what? I'm not going to have my last days listen to you two idiots argue."
No, not spending my fun hours with you two miserable old shits.
Yeah. Arya, now the best part here for Arya had sex for the first time.
I want to know what
I have to ask you.
We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die soon.
Fuck me.
I want to know what it's like before it happens.
Arya asked Gendry if he's a virgin. Gendry replied, "I didn't keep count." Arya says, "Yes, you did." Gendry says 3. I have to ask you a question. How odd did it feel seeing Arya have sex? How weird was that? Scale of 1 to 10.
It didn't feel odd to me because, like in our world, like it's weird, right? It's weird in our world, and back in those days, like medieval times, like they got married at 12, and like they were having kids early.
No.
So like,
I get that, but D-Wil,
just being in the mind state.
But us, Arya, this is Arya.
Just being in the mind state, just being in the mind state of the show. Like, I mean, you would have thought, like, I would think how Arya was living her life, that she may have liked girls. I may have thought that she liked girls just by the way that she was living. You could have easily made that inference, but it didn't really surprise me because, they kind of foreshadowed this. Like, you saw that this was going to happen, at some point. We talked about it last week where, he kept calling her milady, then like she smiled, and so like we saw this happen. It really wasn't weird to me. Like the part that was strange to me was seeing all the bruises on the side of her, all those bruises. So like I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought he would like looked at it like, hey, wait, hold up, like what's up with all these bruises? You know what I mean? Like let's talk about this shit first. Because he had that look on his face when he saw all those bruises when she took off her shirt, and he was like, damn, like the hell happened to you? But they never say anything. I would have liked that to happen. Then for her to tell him, shut the fuck up. Like, let's get this on. You know what I mean? But I would love for her to explain to him like how she got all those bruises on there.
It was amazing seeing her too being the aggressor as well. Like, lay down, sit down. I'm not the right woman.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a penis. Seriously, like, come on. Like, come on. It was weird. I have to admit, growing up with Arya, and I get all what you said is correct. You know, girls are age younger than her. You know, it's normal. But seeing Arya, we grew up with Arya. It's weird.
It was only right. It was only right that that scene happened like that. It was only right that scene happened like that because Arya has never been in that situation with a man before or with a guy before. So like she wants it. So like she's bold. You know what? She said, "We're about to die. I want to know what it feels like before it happens. Like let's get this on." Like if it would have been like no, she'd be like, "Motherfucker, I'm about to kill you." Like don't you know that I could kill you?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like.
Jon Snow finally tells Daenerys that his real name is Aegon Targaryen.
And how does she react?
It's impossible. He goes, "I wish it were." And then she calls the story into question, pointing out how convenient it is that the only people in the world who knew the story were Jon's brother Bran and his best friend Sam. And I get that conspiracy theory, all that, you know. But if it's true, Jon will be the last Targaryen male here, and you'd have. She says, "You have a claim to the Iron Throne," says Daenerys. What I find funny about this whole thing, at no point during this revelation does Daenerys point that she's been banging her nephew.
Because she doesn't care.
No one, not Sam, not Bran, not even Jon mentions it. Like, oh, by the way, I'm fucking my aunt.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care. I mean, Sam doesn't care either. All Sam cares about is, you know, that his family got killed. And Aegon doesn't care. Like, Aegon, like, all he's worried about is being lied to his whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so. And they keep talking about this. Like, the next episode, like, this conversation, this dialogue still goes on.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, well, the dead's already here. Like, let's explain yourself. Like, she wants to hear more about this. You know, like, is she going to take her dragons and run? Is she going to take the Unsullied and run? Is she going to take the Dothrakis and run? Like, what is going to happen? You know, I didn't see the dragon in the preview. At the end of the show, we saw the White Walkers approaching Winterfell, but we didn't see the Night King. The Night King wasn't there. The dragon wasn't there. So maybe a plot twist next episode.
Mm-hmm. I got a feeling that the action. I have a funny feeling that we think we're gonna have action this episode, and we might have some action, but I don't think that'll start to the end of the episode. And episode 4 is when we get all the big action. 4, 5, and 6.
Just one reason alone why I don't think so is because they've hyped this episode so much.
3?
They've hyped this episode. Yes. They said episode 3 is the Battle of Winterfell, and it's going to be 1 hour and 20 minutes of nothing but fighting. That's pretty much what they said. Episode 3 is the Battle of Winterfell, and it's going to be the largest battle in cinematic history. In all films, you've never seen any fight scene for 1 hour and 20 minutes, and that's what this episode is supposed to be.
Well,
I mean, look it up. That's
no. I believe you. You're the expert on this podcast. I'm just someone navigating through the episodes here.
That's why we haven't seen anything for these first 2 episodes. Because in this next episode is where everything is supposed to happen. Like, a lot of things are supposed to happen in this episode. Like a lot of people are going to die in this episode 3.
Let me tell you, if that poser still alive past episode 3, I'm going to hang myself. I'm joking. No. I don't give a damn with no action. I'll stay on the pussy's gone.
Hey, you remember too? Bran could warg inside of him and make him do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know, like he did Hodor. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. He could warg inside Theon to make Theon do some crazy stuff.
Yep.
So
that's true.
I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, we saw the Darrel too, man. The Darrel made the return.
Oh, right.
All right, the Darrel made a return in this episode too.
Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, the direwolf was at the.
She was on the wall
next to the statue, the statue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, sir.
Well, I thought episode 3 should be pretty good, man. If what you're saying is true, which I believe you, then it picks up. By the way, I'm gonna see people saying, "Oh, there's no action first 2 episodes." Stop. The dialogue is great. The dialogue should get you through.
Well, they're gonna make up for it now.
Yeah. So do you?
That's what they're definitely gonna make up for it now.
Before I let you go, prediction quickly: who dies this episode?
All right. I already said Grey Worm's gonna die, so I think Grey Worm's gonna die. I think, unfortunately, Brienne's gonna die.
Oh God.
I think Jorah's gonna die.
Oh my God! Really?
I think. Well, if not Jorah, his little cousin, Lady Mormont, she's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like everybody can't live. So I think she's gonna die. Like, you should have listened. You should have went to the crypts where it's in the safe. Like, why do you want to fight where everybody was fighting? Just come on. I mean, I know woman power and all that stuff, man. But like, I'm sorry, she's gonna die. I don't think any of the Stark characters are gonna die, unless Sansa somehow dies. I don't think Arya's gonna die.
No.
I don't think Aegon's gonna die. The poser's gonna die. The poser,
Yay!
Ironborn, they're gonna die. Who else? As far as like all the main characters.
Wait, on this episode alone, or just in general?
No, I'm talking this episode alone.
Oh my God! Really?
Like, dude, people, man, we're not gonna have 1 hour and 20 minutes of fighting with people living. Like, I think all of these people are dying. Tormund's gonna die. Like,
no!
These people are dying, man.
Don't tell me that, bro.
And listen, and this is me speculating. Like, I have no inside scoop of any of this, but like,
wait. You didn't talk to Woj yet? Woj doesn't know about what's going on.
I don't got Woj sources yet. Oh
shit!
I don't got Woj to tell me nothing.
What about Shams? Does Shams know anything about this episode? No, I'm joking.
He tell me nothing. Yeah. But no, this is war, man. Like, this is war. People have to die in war.
That's true.
Right. Like, if people didn't have to die in war, like, they could have saved little Rickon from, Rickon couldn't run zigzag from a flying arrow and got shot in the back. Like, if they felt like saving people, like, they would have saved Rickon too.
Yeah.
So, like the Red Wedding, everybody died. You know what I mean? All the characters we love died. So why not die in a real last battle? All of these people are going to die this episode, bro. All of them.
This is why I hate being attached to these characters. Damn it.
Podrick dead.
Yeah. Tell you what, it's gonna be a very, very interesting episode next week when we get into this next week, because, man, calm for the storm. I was enjoying this calm shit, man.
I meant to ask you too, man. We should check Vegas. I bet you there are odds on who's going to die in Vegas if we check the sports books.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
But there has to be odds. Who's going to die first? Like, what are the odds? Over and under. I like to make some bets.
You gambling degenerate, you. I'm sure the bets for who's going to die, Iron Throne, it's a lot of shit. I'm sure there's a lot of prop bets out there for Thrones alone.
And we might get a cameo. We might get a cameo from King's Landing next episode. Who knows? But I just find it really strange that none of the previews had the Night King in this episode. So, like, whatever that they planned to happen, Bran being bait may not happen. People
you gotta admit, though,
die left and right.
You gotta admit, though, the Iron King's the Night King is badass though. So badass.
He is. I'm still trying to figure out how he got the dragon. I'm waiting for the answer, but we'll see.
That dude is just off. That dude is just the man. But we'll meet up next week again, and we'll discuss episode 3, preview episode 4, and yeah, if what you said is correct, episode 3 should be a barn burner.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Mark Scott voice.